All right, we're gonna start doing we're gonna work on foundational skills for a couple of hours. So I'd say that's grip and vision, and then later on we'll worry about confirmation. All right. So core skill, how to grip our pistol. Everybody has a different way of conceptualizing it. The first thing I'll say is you want it to be simple, so that way you can do it like consistently. And if you're consistent with what you're doing, everything on the back end is predictable and repeatable. So like consistency is key, and then a simple concept is going to be the key to that. All right. I think most people, in terms of the position of their hands, like it's going to look something like this, right? On the position of the hands. Nod your head. Yeah. All right. That's true, but I want to pay attention to the pressure, because how hard you're using your hands is going to matter a lot. All right. So with what our objective here is, we stay connected to the pistol while it's recoiling. All right. Using, in a sense, the minimum muscle to stay connected to the pistol, meaning the gun's not moving around inside of our hand. Right. And then if I use minimum muscle enough with my dominant hand, I can move my trigger finger quickly and independently. Like once you understand like more force isn't really better, then you can get to the appropriate amount of force, so you can control the gun and still shoot quickly. Does that make sense? All right. So their firing hand, here's a good way to articulate the right pressure. We wrap our firing hand around like this type of look, high up on the back strap. Then I'm going to grip the pistol as hard as I can with my fingers, not my thumb, just my fingers as hard as I can. Now that's going to be too hard. Like my fingers are connected, so I can't really move my trigger finger like all that quickly or independently. So crush with this. Now, this sounds crazy, but I just relax my middle finger enough for a flip off. Now I keep the same pressure on my fingers, and I just put my middle finger back on the gun. That's about right? Because these two fingers are connected. If I clamp down my middle finger, I'm going to lose dexterity with my trigger finger. So again, full clamp with my fingers, relax the middle finger for a flip off, bring it back and put it on the gun. That's about right for the pressure. With my support hand, I want to make contact with the frame of the pistol. Like this is what I'm concerned about holding. This is what matters. And I'm just going to grab my fingers and clamp onto the pistol. Hey, you'll notice here my thumbs are floating off the gun. I'm not trying to do anything with the thumbs. You can, but that's just another layer you have to think about, where you have to, if you're putting pressure into the side of the pistol with your thumbs, that all has to be consistent and unchanging. All right, so I don't like to do that. I want to stay off the gun and stay off the controls. And again, it's very easy to put in consistent pressure. I need to clamp onto the pistol with my support hand so I never feel the gun slipping. Never. Now, you can go harder if you want. Like you can clamp pretty hard with your support hand and nothing really bad's going to happen. Just understand the whole point is you just don't want the gun to move. The relationship between gun and hand should not change. All right? Does that make sense to everybody? All right, so I'll make a demo. We're going to start doing this drill to test this. So I'll make a couple demos for you. If you're shooting like that, I'll say go faster. Okay. Does that make sense? So this will be the drill. At the tone, draw, connect to the pistol the way that you think is appropriate. No time. We're not measuring the draw time here. Why not?
Doesn't matter at this point.
Sure, but I don't want you to be in a hurry to clack off that fast first round. My grip is right. Okay. Like I consider my grip right, and I come up and now I'll shoot from that. And in a sense, we're testing our grip, right? If we look at a small spot and you're gripping in that way, everything's going to get clustered into a small group. All right, I'll make another example for you. Watch closely here. All right, come on up, guys. Now this is a lot more like realistic of an example. Now, when I say, hey, grip is consistent, it's durable, predictable, like nothing is changing. Is that going to be the case for anybody? No. If you're actually honest with yourself and paying attention, your grip pressure and stuff is going to change while you're shooting the string. That's why we're shooting 8 rounds, drawing and doing 4 pairs is like you want your grip to survive all that without changing. Typically what's going to happen is a pattern like this for a right-handed shooter. This is a little exaggerated, but this is typically what it looks like. As the string went on, I tensed up my dominant hand and pushed down into the gun, right? And that's this down here. When they slip up high and away out of the group, what's causing that? Yeah, exactly. So what returns the gun to this spot is the fact that I'm staring at the spot. All right? You're going to see the red thing dancing in front of you while you're shooting. Like if you look at that red thing, the hits go into a streak, like where the dot is. So you hit where you look, for better or worse. If you look at a spot on the target, the hits go to that spot. If you look at the red dot, they streak high. If you tense up your dominant hand and push down into the gun, this is what you're going to get. The most common issue that obviously we're going to have is people pushing on the gun with their dominant hand. Make sense so far? Now, if you're shooting like this, like I'm not going to say, hey, slow down. It'll be, all right, do you see that happening? Do you feel that happening in your hand? You're not going to slow down your shooting. Your job just becomes to understand what you're doing and then try to correct the problem at speed. Okay? Sound good to everyone? All right, let's give it a try. Thank you. Stop.